待って。
どうも、パールバティです。仕事以外の話なら大歓迎。いつでもマハメルに来るといいよ。
了解だ。
また成長ですか。あ、いえ、嬉しくないわけではないんですけど、これが父の望んでいることなのかと考えたら少し不安で。
暴力には暴力か。最悪の組み合わせだ。そこもう終わりにしよう。はあ、反省の時間だよ。遅い。これは
当だよ。それじゃ後片付けしよっか。何でも言って。
正解を糧にってやつ嫌いじゃないよ。じゃあ今後の仕事は全部この子に。この技できれば使いたくないな。時には暴力も必要ってね。バンバン乱れ打ち。 乱れ打ち。おりゃ数打ちなんとかってね。省エネ省エネ。それじゃあ塵になろうか。いやー、私たち息ぴったりじゃん。いいね。
Hey, what's up, man? Hello. Oh no, I just I backed out of the game really quick. Hold on. I accidentally Alt F4'd my monitor. Not my monitor, but my web browser. Don't be alarmed. Everything is fine. The update should be in like 10 hours. They usually update around 6:30 my time, PST. And don't quote me on that, but usually the other 3 updates it's been around 6:30 my time, the day before they say. So I'm hoping that's the case this time. Actually, I can probably do some detective work here. Let me see. Let's see. Nothing on Steam database yet.
規則正しい生活だと人は錆びちまうぜ。つまんねえな。でもまあ毎日お前のそばにいるなら
Turn-based slop.
飽きることもねえかな。
I mean, turn-based slop would be Honkai Star Rail because it's you know, got power creep and shit rates and 50-50, and you can just wail to get past your problems. I don't really consider anything else to be I don't really consider any other turn-based game to be slop, even though I don't like playing them, but well, that's beyond the point. Actually, turn-based slop that's not a gacha game would be those old-school turn-based games where you got to a random encounter, like, every 3 steps, and there's long-ass load times. Those were the worst turn-based games, in my opinion. So, like, fifth generation turn-based RPGs with bad load times, those were the worst in my opinion. Turn-based RPGs in that generation were really weird because there were a lot of really great ones, but there were some really bad ones too. Well, they really half-assed that remaster, didn't they? They, like, didn't even increase the frame rate. I remember when that came out and people were very upset that it was, they were very upset that it was 30 FPS. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I know somebody made a mod for it. I haven't, looked into it more than that. They kinda churned that out too quick, I guess. Wait, why do you have to pay for Dante? What? They made that. That's a separate purchase. I never played that game, but I had a friend like 20 years ago who really liked it. You have to pay for Dante? What? It's not included? I guess it's because it's a license. That's pretty whack, if you ask me. They didn't put a lot of effort into that remaster, did they? It kind of churned it out too quick. It doesn't have options that it should. I feel like increasing the frame rate should be the bare minimum. I guess it doesn't matter that much because it's a turn-based RPG, but still, I would expect if you're gonna bring back an old game like that that people really like, that you would go the extra mile. I guess not, though. I guess not. Let's rush it out the door. I mean, it's pretty much the first mainstream SMT. The first two were nowhere near as popular. The first two are nowhere near as popular. I mean, there were people who played them, but not to the extent that the Nocturne. Nocturne was very popular. You know, it had nice graphics and came out at a time when JRPGs were more popular outside of Japan. So, it's a very highly regarded game, but they kind of shat out that remaster a little bit too quick. Let's see, who's the best to get the double S3? Is it her or the new Selena? This one. What is her double S3? I haven't paid attention. There's an alarming amount of turn-based RPGs that have aged poorly, and most of them are from PS1 era. Fifth generation turn-based RPGs arguably aged a lot worse than older ones. There's a couple reasons for that. The first is the graphics. I find fifth generation games the hardest to go back to. The graphics just suck, and I'd rather just look at pixel art. Pixel art has aged a lot better. The other thing is load times. Load times can completely ruin a turn-based RPG, and of course, the only time that was a problem was the 5th gen. There were some 6th gen turn-based RPGs that that had long-ass load times, but for the most part it was 5th gen. So like the graphics have aged poorly, and then also the load times, and then couple that with really long, really high encounter rates, and some of those games are really miserable to play. Yeah, those games were nowhere near as high budget as the Final Fantasy. Even I'd argue even PS2 Tales games were higher budget than those. But yeah, there's a lot of PS1 RPGs that suck because you get into a battle like every 3 steps and then it takes forever to load. I'd argue that's why like FF7 really needed a remake, because I never really cared for the game much myself. I never finished it. I didn't like it, but undeniably long load times, and it runs at like 15 FPS. But ironically, that's one of the that game's aged better than some other turn-based RPGs from that era, because like I said, there's a lot of them where the game is barely playable. The game is barely playable because you're just constantly in load screens and random encounters. It's weird how Chrono Trigger was like revolutionary for like just having the encounters on the field to avoid getting stuck in just this cycle of trying to move but you can't. Oh, undeniably, yeah. All the forced walking sections and crawling through stuff completely kills the pacing, and then also
This is only the beginning. An unfathomable power awaits.
they stretched out something that was like a few hours on the original version, and they made it go for like 50. I don't think anybody would argue with that. That's a pretty popular opinion. That's not an unpopular opinion at all. They really dragged it out as long as possible because they wanted to get 3 games out of it.
Ready? Fight!
Eat your broccoli. No!
I only played it for a few hours. I wanted to give it a chance, but the PC port is terrible. And by the time that I got it working, I stopped wanting to play it. The PC port is really bad.
That hurt.
Which is weird because the port for
Time
Remake,
out.
which I also didn't like because I hated the combat system, worked fine if you had a good enough computer. The port for
Hold up.
Rebirth is a lot worse.
Hey!
Shader compilation stutter and just much higher requirements for like not really better graphics. I just didn't like the combat in that game.
Fight!
Felt like Tales but worse. Wasn't a fan. I'm also just not a fan of the original in the first place. I didn't grow up with it.
Well, that hurt.
I had a friend that let me borrow the PC version, and I just didn't like it. I hated the graphics. I hated the
気をつけ
little
て
melted doll graphics. I just couldn't get over it. My friends were obsessed with that game, and I'm just like, really didn't like the graphics. That was enough to make me not want to play it.
Jump!
高校だ
Go!
This is Crystal Crisis.
How about it? Hold up.
I don't know. When I was that age, I liked
Much.
pixel art more than 3D graphics. So
挟んでしまえ
graphics of FF7 were a major turnoff for me. I thought it just looked worse than Chrono Trigger, which at the time was a very contrarian opinion, but over time it kind of became fact.
Ready? Fight!
Chrono Trigger visually aged so much better than FF7 original. I don't think anybody can deny that now. At the time it was, you know, wow, fancy 3D graphics, but I just couldn't stand the art style. I thought the game was very ugly and off-putting. I understand why people like the game. I know that that may not be a popular opinion, but graphics-wise, it kind of became true. Original FF7 did not age well visually. It didn't help that, like, at the time, video game graphics were advancing at a very accelerated rate. So, you know, Final Fantasy X was only like 4 years later and looks like 10 times better. So, that doesn't help that game's case. Like, FF10 had, you know, voice acting and pretty realistic looking characters, and it was only like 4 years later. So,
Ready?
I don't think anybody can argue it aged very well, because
ナイスキャッチ
graphics back then were advancing way faster than they do now. We've hit a plateau with graphical advancements pretty much. But back then, every couple of years, games just looked better and better. So there wasn't really a very long time period where FF7 looked good. It's a couple years tops. I mean, you could argue even less than that, because FF8 did have realistic graphics for the time anyway. No more melted Legos.
いただき ピンポーンごめんなさいピンポーン高校だ挟んでしまえ
You win.
Well, Zelda is very much in the same boat as the early 3D Final Fantasy, in my opinion. Link to the Past just aged so much better than Ocarina of Time.
Ready? Fight!
Ocarina of Time aging well is carried by the fact that it revolutionized things like having camera angles, being able to lock on to the enemies and stuff was pretty big, and like now that's like a standard. But visually, I would argue, actually gameplay wise too, I'd argue that Link to the Past has aged much better, despite being a much older game. Mostly because of the frame rate. Ocarina of Time is only 20 FPS,
気
so
をつけて
playing that now without the decompiled port is gonna be pretty rough on your eyes. Aged pretty poorly. It's mostly carried by the fact that the game mechanics were ahead of its time with having a big open world, partially open, you know, large area, open zone, I guess would be a better explanation. And like having the lock on and stuff is pretty big. The gameplay-wise, it's aged like milk.
行くよいた
What's up, man? Hello.
Ready? Fight!
大丈夫
I'm alright. I'm good. Just killing some time because I gotta work at my neighbor's house
簡単簡単
in a couple hours. I also have to pay my bills too.
ピンポーン
That's always the most fun thing, right? Paying bills. That's what being an adult is. Gotta do that, I'm just procrastinating right now.
行くよ
I paid all the gacha game bills. Got my battle pass and
バッ
monthly card all paid for. So no more gacha game spending. Got my PGR and Aethergazer stuff all set up.
You win. Ready? Fight!
おっとアッパーちょっと バッチリ
Yeah, I wish they had increased the frame rate on the Switch too,
ここ
but
よ
I guess if they were gonna do that this update, they would have announced it already, but yeah, that kinda sucks.
何ウィンプ
Switch 2 can totally run that game at 60.
嬉しいわね
Should have like no problem doing it, but the game has a hard-coded cap of 30, so they have to unlock it with a patch.
これはどう
Shouldn't be that hard to do, but I guess if they were gonna do it this update, they would have said something already.
これできっと
I don't know, maybe you can prove me wrong, but it's kind of a bummer that they're not increasing the cap. Not that it matters for me, because I have a Steam Deck, but
簡
the
単
game definitely
簡
would
単
feel better to play it not 30.
よっ何もう大物だよこれはどう攻撃何それ攻撃
You win. Ready? Fight!
おっと
お前には追いつけまい。遅いぞ。
これはどう？何それ？ここだ。
誰も俺を止められない。遅い。
遅い。
おっと。いただき。
たたき。
血中酸素濃度低下。
本当だよ。
エネルギー減
簡単簡単。
Ready? Fight!
Like I said in my review, I think this game was shat on for reasons that don't make much sense. There are some valid criticisms, like
それ。
how broken the moves are, but you know, you can just
悪
turn
い
them
が
off.
これは任務だ。
And like original Puzzle Fighter has shit balance anyway, so I don't really see why this game gets so much flack for it, but
戦いに理由
the
が
original
な
one
しての無
doesn't.
意味だ。
It's nostalgia. I think it really is just nostalgia. Like, dude, there's one playable character in original Puzzle Fighter. It's terribly
戦い
balanced.
に理由など探しての無意味だ。
I like most of the new stuff that this game adds to the formula compared to actual Puzzle Fighter. I didn't like the wrapping of the gems, so I turned it off
血中酸
because
素
it
濃度
messes
低
with
下。
my brain because
貴様は
of so
遅
much
すぎる。
Puzzle Fighter. And all the other changes I like.
何それ。くらえ。
血中酸素濃度低下。貫く。血中酸素濃度低下。
いくよ。
血中酸素濃度低下。エネルギーエネルギー減少。誰も俺を止められない。
You win.
僕のルアーに。
Ready? Fight!
ダメよ。はっ。これはどう？バッターアウト。
Yeah, this game is pretty good. It's the closest you'll get to modern Puzzle Fighter. There aren't, you know, dozens of these like Souls-likes and roguelikes. This is pretty much the only Puzzle Fighter clone. Really strange because I think this and Puyo Puyo Tetris are like the best competitive puzzle games, but no one wanted to make one until this came out. And like I said, don't listen to the reviews too much. I think most of them are kind of a little bit petty. The biggest complaint with this game is the supers that the characters have, the fighting game supers. But, you know, they definitely should have done a balance patch to nerf some of them. I agree with that, but I guess the game wasn't popular enough to warrant it. But, you know, you can just turn them off. The game lets you turn them off, so having people complain about them being, you know, overpowered kind of doesn't make much sense. They wanted to make the characters stand out more because in Puzzle Fighter the only difference was the attack pattern when you send garbage over to the enemies is the only difference between characters. Everything else was strictly cosmetic. I think it was a good way to make things different, but yeah, there definitely are some that are way better than others. Like, dude, the Puzzle Fighter was Ken mirror matches for like 20 years, so I don't want to hear that, you know, this game is so broken. Puzzle Fighter is not a beacon of competitive video game balance. It's worse than even the most broken fighting games. You're done. There we go. Got the kill.
You win. Ready?
Yeah, the original Puzzle Fighter has basically two playable characters, and people really only use Donovan sometimes. Ken was undeniably the best character, so you just played Ken mirrors all the time because you play that game at a high level. Ken is undeniably the best character in the game. Nobody else comes close. Everybody else is worse than him. So it's kind of weird. Kind of feels like thinly veiled people letting nostalgia cloud their judgment when they say that the supers in this are overpowered. I'm like, so what if they are? Puzzle Fighter is a great game, and I have many fond memories of playing it, but it's never a well-balanced game. You wanted to play that game somewhat seriously, you had to accept that you just played Ken. You weren't playing Ken, you were nerfing yourselves. There's no reason to ever play anyone else. At least with this, the fighting game supers definitely give it more variety. The characters have like more that's unique about them. This game also has like way more content than Puzzle Fighter does as well. Puzzle Fighter for a modern game is pretty low on content. It's just arcade and versus. This has a lot of really cool new stuff that they added.
win.
I definitely was burnt out on it. That's why I stopped playing it. But the update, seems like it will bring me back. They're fixing a lot of the problems with the game. The horrible balance and RNG, just like not having anything to grind for. Like, pretty much all those things are being fixed. So I'm excited to go back to it. But yeah, I kind of tapped out on the game after like 50 hours, 50, 60 hours. The game's just got too many bad design decisions compared to other roguelikes, and I guess apparently the developers agree because they're fixing all that stuff. They're just like making the game a lot better after only one update, which is pretty impressive.
Ready, fight.
Yeah, this game is worth it on a sale, but it was never particularly popular competitive, so you have to go into that in mind. And then, like, also, the fact that it's a Discord fighter kind of hurts it, because there are some characters in this game that suck for playing the game now, because their supers don't, like, directly damage or impair the components. They do stuff like the ninja, for instance. The ninja's kind of garbage playing this solo, because what his super does is it obscures the colors of the gems. So, like, that really messes with a human, but the computer is not going to really care about that. So there's no reason to pick him. And that is a valid criticism of the super system, but you know, you can just turn the supers off if you don't like them. So I found people saying that they ruin the game. I never really saw a lot of logic in those statements. I think when they made this game, they knew that the fighting game supers are going to be pretty divisive. So it's just like, hey, you can just turn them off if you don't like them. Which I think is the best of both worlds. What a bastard, man. Wouldn't fucking die.
You lose.
So annoying. He kept spamming his super. That definitely is the annoying thing about this game. Some of the characters can spam their supers way too quick. Like I said, you can turn them off.
Fight.
If I had them turned off, he would have died for sure, but he kept locking me in a QTE. That's all good, though. Yeah, he kept doing that super that locked my controls, like, non-stop. Feels like his meter gain is a little bit too high. Kinda wish they had balanced stuff like that out a little bit better, but it's whatever. spamming that again. How do you have another one of those already? It's the most annoying super because it just takes away controls. Legit. QTE. Alright, that should get him. Never mind, he countered. Okay, you get that way too often. It's the most obnoxious character to fight. I can definitely see some of the complaints being true, but some of them are very obnoxious. I will not die. How do you have another one of those again? It's the most broken character. Guy from 1001 Spikes is the most broken character. Seems like it. Meter gain on that is way too high. Yeah, bitch. Cheap ass.
Ready? Fight!
Wonder what the tier list for this was. Like, what were the best characters? What were the best characters for competitive? There definitely are some that are pretty OP. And then others that are only like okay. Others that are too situational. Meaning that they're good, but people can adapt to being impaired. You pick the perfect time to do that. Come on, man.
Ready? Fight! You win.
Not quite at 1cc, but good enough. What an obnoxious boss. He definitely earned the right to be the boss. What an annoying ability that he has.
A powerful powerful evil must be stopped.
Now you can play as him. Alright, let's annoy the computer. This game takes way too long to load.
Ready? Fight!
Yeah, let's get payback time. Yeah, how do you like being on the receiving end of that, huh?
Ready? Fight!
Nice.
You win!
Is Donkey Kong $80? Is Donkey Kong $80 or $70? I think Mario Kart being $80 is ridiculous. And then they put out that patch that made everybody hate the game, which is very strange because it is literally the only game on that console right now. I don't know about $80 games, man. And this is coming from somebody that spends an average amount on gacha games. I don't know about $80 games, man. Like, that's really pushing it. Especially with how broken games are now. The fact that Nintendo's doing it is really bad because the games, like, never go down in price. Mario Kart World is going to be $80 10 years from now. This game I'm playing right now was on sale for $2. I've clearly gotten $2 of entertainment out of it already. But if this was $80, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to play this that much. It's not worth it. You know, a gacha game, if I spent that much, a game entertains me for several hours a month. You know, I can justify buying a battle pass and stuff, but I don't know about games being $80 base price. There's been talks that GTA 6 is going to be $100. And people keep complaining about it. I'm like, you're going to buy it anyway. Not going to be able to resist.
You win.
Yeah, I heard that they changed the matchmaking because people didn't like playing the straight lines.
誰にも邪魔させ
They
て
wanted to play the actual tracks, and I guess they changed the matchmaking, so it keeps giving you
Ready?
the tracks that people don't like, which is absolutely insane because it's like the only game to play on that thing right now. The launch lineup for the Switch 2 is pretty bad, but how bad it is depends on what other kind of gaming platforms you have. Like, if you have a PC or a PS5 or bare minimum a Steam Deck, there's nothing to buy besides Mario Kart. It's literally the only game. If you don't have another platform, I guess the launch is a little bit better, but I don't know how much better you can really say it is, because the only exclusive game is still just Mario Kart. I mean, the fact that they have like an official Street Fighter 6 port is pretty cool. But, you know, you can also get that game for a fraction of the price on PC, so if you have access to that, it's not a good deal. I feel like they need to do a direct very soon. People have changed their opinion on Mario Kart, and that's kind of bad because it's the only game to play right now. There's no such thing as a Switch 2 backlog right now, unlike people who game on PC, where you have like hundreds of games and no time to play them. There is no such thing as a Switch 2 backlog currently. It's either Mario Kart or you're playing stuff like Pokemon or the Zelda games, because they run better. There's not really a whole lot else. Oh, is it only $40? Oh, that's a pretty good deal. I thought it was $60.
You win. Ready? Fight!
冗談じゃろ
Ready? Fight!
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how I'm gonna get the Switch 2. I might just put up like a GoFundMe page or something, because that's pretty much the only way I can do it, because of how my money goes into my accounts. People send piecemeal donations, it's just gonna get eaten up by IRL bills. The only reason I want one right now is for
勝てんぞ
the new Hyrule Warriors. They still haven't really showed anything on it.
勝てんぞ飛んでいけ取った
I need to know a little bit more before I commit to doing a fundraiser to get one. But there's no games I want to play on it right now, besides old stuff, but I already have a custom firmware Switch, so I could just play those games on my PC. Not really much of a selling point.
Ready? Fight! You win.
Here comes a new
Ready? Fight!
ほらどうした
Pushta.
大丈夫か 大丈夫か シッとせんか
Ready? Fight!
それでは勝てんぞその程度かよこれでは勝てんぞ後ろなん今度は上じゃ飛んでいけもっと踏み込んでいこうか
Damn, Aben went down quick.
You win.
Got bodied by his father. That was a good match.
Ready? Fight!
まだまだじゃな。
終わりですわ。
これでは勝てんぞ。場所を開けんか。ドン。
No, now you're not going to give me a crash jump. Oh, there we go. Get some of this trash over here down. Good recovery.
Ready? Fight!
少年せい。ドン。もっと踏み込んでこう。上を見てみ。
Good fight.
You win. Ready? Fight!
それでは勝てんぞ。よーほー。
これは
これでどうかな。
ごめんなさい。
冗談だろ。ドン。ピシッとせん。パンチ。
Ready? Fight!
大丈夫？ それ。
用心せえ。本当は上か。まだまだじゃな。どうした？おーし。
バッチリ。
You win.
4-time payment for the Switch. Yeah, that would be nice for me, but they always turn me down for those pay an installment.
Ready? Fight.
They get turned down for that pretty much all the time. If it's going to happen, it'll be a GoFundMe. I'm just not in a rush to do that right now because the only thing I'd do with it is just play the Musou games that run better. That's the only thing that I would do with it. By the time that they show more news about Hyrule Warriors, the console should be easier to get. From what I understand, they've kept up with the demand pretty well, but it definitely still is a bit difficult to get it. So if I'm gonna go through that effort, I'd want something to play with it frame one and not just have it sit here unplayed. It was like I wouldn't really have a reason to use it over the Steam Deck currently. Steam Deck already runs Hyrule Warriors at a lock 60, so it's not even really a selling point for me. Especially because I legally dumped my copy and got my save off it. So
Ready? Fight.
I'm not really in a rush to do that either. Bastard.
Ready? Fight.
What a bitch, man.
You lose. Ready? Fight.
それでは勝てんぞ。
Ready? Fight!
しっかりせんか。後ろなんで本当は上か。
There we go. Got comboed. It was a pretty big chain when his field was pretty full. You couldn't come back from that. I gotta fight him again. Great.
Ready? Fight!
Mirror match. Gonna get stuck in a QTE a lot. Try to kill him quick.
これでどうかな。取った。冗談じゃろ。もっと踏み込んでこうか。冗談じゃろ。お前はプレゼントじゃ。大丈夫か。なんと。冗談じゃろ。それでは勝てんぞ。
There we go. That was good use of the super.
Ready? Fight!
The super's probably best to use when their field is very full, especially if you have something that you can send over. You can basically do a puzzle game version of a hit confirm. Because if they can't move, then if you're able to send over enough garbage to fill up the field, then you won. But his defense super is pretty good too, so you gotta gauge if it's worth holding on to that or going for the kill. Definitely think the supers add a lot of strategy to the formula, but yeah, there definitely are some that are way better than others. I'm not gonna deny that criticism is not true. I just think if people are bothered by it, they can just not use it. Okay. Just turn it off. I think they knew that balancing something like that was almost impossible, so... like, hey, you don't like it? Shut up and turn it off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this one. Oh, never mind. He unalived himself. That was pretty smooth. Alright, you should give me this character.
Ready? Fight!
Oh, she took away my bar. I was wondering what that did. That's a pretty
Ready?
busted super.
Fight!
Basically makes it so you can't hold on to your super. It's pretty game changing. I was wondering why I didn't have a super ready.
Ready? Fight!
Whack. Did that at the most opportune time. Well, I think this chick is like probably one of the better characters. she can just take away your super bar, so you can't
Ready? Fight.
strategically use it. You have to burn it whenever you get it.
ね
大丈夫か
I can't use it for a confirmed kill because she'll just take it away.
爆発よ。回れ回れ。
Two attack super is pretty busted as well.
どうしたようそろ
ないよね。
上を見てみそれでは
No, you're getting the hit confirm. Hit confirm. There we go.
Ready? Fight.
ドカン。どう？私のことを嫌いになった？
どうしたしっかりせんか
Oh, come on, man. We always use the super at the most, like,
Ready? Fight.
perfect time. It actually is nice that they put up a better fight than Puzzle Fighter. Puzzle Fighter is kind of a curb stomp when you play the AI. Since this is a Discord fighter, it's nice that the AI is good enough to, like, actually challenge you.
じゃあ
It's mostly just the supers can get really obnoxious, depending on the matchup. But yeah, I do like that this is actually challenging. Yeah, if I do this harder mode again, I probably will just turn off the supers, to be honest. They can start to get on your nerves, like this character here, basically making it so the super bar mechanic does not exist. I gotta clutch this one out. Going back to round one.
まだよ。どう？私のことを嫌いになった？ね
冗談じゃろ
え、すれば。ドカン。
Please die! Will not die. This is the most obnoxious character I've fought in this game so far.
バンバン。ドカン。
Every time I try to break the orange, put something down, starting to get on my nerves. Come on! Ah! How many times can you do that?
爆発よ。
Ah, come on, man!
You lose.
I feel like the supers would be less annoying if the meter gain was reduced. I think that's like the main problem with the super mechanic.
Ready?
The characters that have level 1s can like spam them way too much. So you just get stuck like that where constantly at a disadvantage.
届け。
I mean, it's nice that you can turn them off, but there definitely are some valid complaints to it. Like, maybe they could have balanced it out a little bit better. You make them, like, more impactful, but you can't do them, like, every 5 seconds. I mean, this chick is busted as far as I could tell. Completely unable to use that mechanic. It's probably a bad matchup for Jim because he doesn't have a level 1, so it completely cripples him. He can't attack or defend with his bar, because he just keeps doing that. Oh, of course, I get a super immediately. Was able to do that again, like, instantly after the last one. Alright. Keep spamming that damn super. Come on, give me something I can use. Stop giving me junk. Oh, well, that one was my fault. This boss is so obnoxious.
Ready? Fight.
Kind of want to be done playing this. Oh, of course! Just instantly take my bar away. What is this character? The most annoying character. Every single time I'm on the brink of winning, I get screwed over. Again, already. Like 10 seconds after the last one. That super should be level 3 only. Like, only use it when you level 3. Should not be a level 1. Too powerful. I guess they wanted to, one-up Capcom because Akuma is garbage in Puzzle Fighter. He's actually one of the worst characters because he has a damage debuffs. This boss is impossible.
You lose.
I just want to be done playing the game. This boss will not die. Has a super, like, always at the perfect time.
Ready? Fight.
I can never use mine because she keeps taking it away. Maybe I will just turn off the supers in this. Take my own advice. I like that the boss is a challenge. I dislike how overpowered the super is. How it prevents me from playing. Comes back way too quick. Seems like if you want to play this above hard mode, you should probably turn off the supers because this is aggravating. I've already got another one so quick.
どうすれば。
どうした
Ready? Fight!
終わっシュート。あなたにはふさわしくないわ。ね
冗談だろ
え、じゃあ
No, we're clinching it out. Clinching it out. Not again. It's good. What an obnoxious boss. Yeah, I think if you don't want to go bald playing this against the computer, it is probably best to turn off the supers. Master with the supers on must be very annoying. I'm definitely good enough for expert, I think, but I don't know, fighting that boss with those supers.
Greatest heroes have assembled to
Really
face
aggravating.
the greatest evil.
Oh, this should be Balos from Cape Story. But yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. Mental stack is depleted. I think that's going to do it for now. I'm going to lay down a bit, and I got to go over to my neighbor's house and take care of the cats in like 2 hours. So that's going to do it for now. I might stream over there just because it's supposed to be pretty hot today, I think. So maybe some more Crystal Crisis or some Abyss or something. But yeah, I'm going to take a break. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys. There'll probably be like 2 more streams today. Probably one over there. And then I'll stream for the Abyss update, but that's if it comes out today. Normally it's the day before, they say, around 6:30 my time, so you can expect me around then for sure. I'll see you guys later. Good night. Not good night, but good afternoon.